sports.
We are Blackboard. We are Wisconsin.
Well, the San Diego Padres come to town and they bring the San Diego weather. What a night for baseball we have at Miller Park tonight. It's the first of four. The Padres and the Brew Crew matching up for the first time this season. And a battle of terrific right-handers. Willie Peralta, just his second game back from the DL against Tyson Ross and his .338 earned run average. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. Great to have you with us tonight. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Sophia Minard is our reporter tonight. An interesting matchup here in this series. You've got the Brewers, who have made a lot of trades. They got a lot of minor league players in return. And then you have the Padres, who decided not to trade anybody. They think they can make a run here, Rock, and get into that wild card position. They've got Ross on the mound. The Brewers are going to counter with Willie Peralta.
And he missed 2 months on a disabled list with an oblique issue, but you would have never known it in his first start since coming back in San Francisco. Outstanding work for Willie. He pitched 6 scoreless innings. He had to come out in the 7th and gave up a hit and a walk, but certainly you would never know he was off for 2 months based on the fact that he was throwing his fastball 96, 97 miles an hour. The good slider. It was the Willie Peralta that you remember from last year.
Well, you see the numbers since May 6th. Willie Peralta getting a lot of run support when he's on the mound. Of course, he missed 2 months of the season. The Brewers would love to get some of that offense back. They're trying to get their offense back in gear with a lot of new pieces in the engine. We'll talk about that engine. Can they get it back? Craig and Davey will break it down right after this.
Big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. Back here at Miller Park, what a beautiful night for baseball. Gene Segura doing his part. Got the Boy Scouts in, signing some autographs here before the matchup, game one against the Padres. They're going to need Gene Segura and all of his teammates offensively to try to get on track. That's what the Brewers have been missing over the last 12 games, Davey, is that offense. But ironically, if Jonathan Lucroy or Ryan Braun get at least 3 hits in a game, generally they win. It was rare yesterday when Ryan Braun had the 3 hits that they actually lost the game. Combined now over the last 3 years, when that happens, they're 42-5 and among the top 5 in winning percentage to get their teams on track. That's how important these guys are to their offense.
That's right. So, hey, all the pressure's on Ryan Braun and Jonathan Lucroy.
No problem,
That's right. You know, but of course, what happens there, if Jonathan gets 3 hits in a ball game, you know he's going to get driven in by either Bronny or Lynn. And the opposite, if Bronny gets 3 hits, he's on base a lot, so those guys behind him are going to drive him mad.
Well, that's what the Brewers could use right now, some base runners against that middle part and that meaty part and productive part of that order. We'll see if they can get it done here tonight. Big Willie is on the hill. He's ready to go. Is he going to be stopper tonight to stop the 5-game losing streak?
Here 79 degrees as we are ready for game one of this 4-game series, the Brewers and the San Diego Padres. Padres are playing good baseball lately. They've won 12 of their last 17 games. That streak started just before the All-Star break. And new manager Pat Murphy, who took over for Bud Black, who was their AAA manager, and he's got a chance to manage in the big leagues for the first time. The Padres are hoping they can stay hot and make a run at a wild card spot. Alexi Amarista leads off, plays short. Yangervis Solarte will play third base and bat second. Then Matt Kemp, Justin Upson, Yonder Alonso, and Jed Jerko. And then the bottom 3, Austin Hedges, Melvin Upton Jr., formerly known as BJ, and Tyson Ross on the mound. The Potawatomi batting order for Pat Murphy and the Padres. And there is Willie Peralta, second start since coming off the DL, hoping to build on what we saw in San Francisco.
Yeah, he was very good. Had good velocity. The slider was a good pitch for him. He got a win against the Giants, 6 innings. He did not allow a run through 6 innings. Let a couple of guys get on base to start the 7th. Got taken out. Those 2 runs scored, and give up 2 runs in 6+. His only start against the Padres before tonight was a 4-3 win last year. And let's check out the Brewers Menards defense tonight. Chris Davis, Shane Peterson, and Ryan Braun in the outfield. Hernan Perez, Segura, and Jeanette up the middle. Adam Lind at first, and Jonathan Lucroy behind home plate.
And we are ready for baseball tonight. Alexi Amarista leads off for the Padres. And Peralta's first pitch is low for ball 1. Away we go. Padres coming from Miami, where they lost yesterday in extra innings. Ran into a buzzsaw in Jose Fernandez yesterday. However, the man at the plate, Alexi Amarista, hit a 9th inning game-tying home run at Marlins Park yesterday, but lost on a walk-off. So they won that series. They had won 4 in a row leading up to that game yesterday, and Pat Murphy has his team at 51-54, 3 games under 500, 9 games back in their division. Ground ball off the glove of Peralta right to Jeanette, and that's how the night begins for Willie Peralta.
And the Padres feel as though they still have a shot, outside shot at best, to get into the postseason, but they have been winning games, but not because of their offense so much. They have been struggling offensively. Their pitching has been very good. Starting pitching in that stretch you were just talking about, 8-3. So these guys have been eating up innings and winning ball games as of late.
One away. Here is Yangervis Solarte, and he swings and rips one into right center field, way back there. Braun will look up, and that one's gone. Just out of the reach of Peterson as well. Solarte with a home run, just his 6th, and that extends his hitting streak to 9 in a row. Ties a career best, and it is the Friars who strike first here tonight.
Man, those are the guys you have to get out before you get to Kemp and Justin Upton. Yeah, first pitch fastball out over the plate, and he knocks it out of here. 95 miles an hour on the outer half of the plate, and he hits the home run into center field.
Switch hitting third baseman for the Padres. So a run is in. Here's Matt Kemp. Big story for the Padres at the trade deadline was the moves they did not make. These veteran players that they brought in the offseason, guys like Kemp and the Upton brothers, they all want to stay together and try to get hot and make a run. They feel like they can make the postseason in a wild card spot, and they think they can gain some ground in their division as well. But the key is they want to stay together and try to do that, so they stand pat as Kemp flies to right. Basket catch by Ryan Braun for out number 2.
Yeah, one of the busiest teams in the offseason, San Diego Padres. I guess they and the Chicago White Sox, but things have not gone all that well for either team, for that matter. I think they're both feeling as though they're still hanging around in the races, but Padres are going to have to do a lot of winning in a very tough division where they have to play a lot of games against the Dodgers and the Giants.
So Kemp is out. Here is Justin Upton, putting together a nice year. Upton with big power numbers, 18 homers, 57 RBIs. He got off to a great start this season. First 2 months of the year, he was on fire at the plate, but then he's hit a wall since. He had a really bad month of June, and he's hoping August will provide a finishing kick. And Rocky's always been a pretty streaky hitter. Got a bit of a new life here in San Diego, and traded from the Braves, and his brother ended up coming with him in a later trade.
Yeah, 18 home runs, but 108 strikeouts coming in. Matter of fact, he'll pick it up later. That's a good pitch by Willie.
Another strikeout on the board for Justin Upton. Solarte with a homer, 1-0 Padres. First inning, Craig Counsell in his first year as a big league skipper, just like the man across the way from him, Pat Murphy, who was his college coach at Notre Dame. Potawatomi batting order for Counsell tonight: Jeanette, Lucroy, Braun at the top. You got Lynn, Davis, and Peterson in the middle. Segura, Perez, and Peralta round out the starting 9, and that is the 9 that will face Tyson Ross.
Yeah, he's having a nice season. He's only 7-8, but that's not his fault. He's got a .338 earned run average. Been very good in his last 8 starts. 4-1, a .249 earned run average, and has been very good on the road this year. You know, splits for him better on the road than they are at home.
His home ERA is 4.47 in a pitcher's park at Petco. His road ERA is 2.63. And Ross deals. Jeanette on the first pitch, had him perfectly positioned, and Upton is there to make the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, the Menards Padres defense. The Padres ranked middle of the road in the National League, 7th in defense. They've committed 59 errors. Got the Upton brothers in left and center. Matt Kemp in right. Solarte, Amarista, Jerko, and Alonso from third to first. And Austin Hedges behind home plate.
Brian Knight will call the balls and strikes here tonight. That's the crew chief there, Larry Vanover. Vic Carapazza and Adam Hamari join him on the bases. Here is Lucroy. Ross misses low. See how patient the Brewers will be tonight. Jeanette swinging at the first pitch, but Ross leads the National League in walks coming into play tonight. A little bit unusual for him. Has been a strike thrower in his career. He's emerging as one of the better right-handers in the National League. You wouldn't know it by the record, but an excellent ERA and excellent on the road.
Yeah, leads the league in walks, and he's 8th in strikeouts. He's got 137 strikeouts, averaging almost 10 strikeouts per 9 innings.
He's 5th in that category in the league. Matter of fact, he and his teammate James Shields are 4th and 5th in strikeouts per 9 innings. 9.7 for Ross per 9 and 9.8 strikeouts per 9 for James Shields. 2-2 to Lucroy. Batting average slipping under 250 after yesterday, and it's going to go right back over. Base hit for Lucroy, a single.
And the Brewers have had a difficult time scoring runs. Only 25 runs in the last 12 games. Pitching's been pretty good. You know, all the games against the Cubs were pretty close. Three-run losses, and yesterday they lost by a single run. Got to get it going. The veteran guys have to step up.
Yeah, the Brewers have lost 5 in a row now, trying to snap that skid. Despite the loss yesterday, which was a 4-3 final for the Cubs, Braun had a great day at the plate. 3 hits. He was 3 for 4. 2 doubles yesterday, both off Clayton Richard. And he's got a man on tonight in the first. Braun has 19 doubles to go along with his 19 home runs. He is 2 home runs shy of tying Robin Yount's franchise record for home runs in a career in Milwaukee. Hit hard right field. That's fair and going to the wall. Lucroy on his way to third, and he'll be held there. Braun rolls into second base. He is a doubles machine here recently. 3 of his last 4 hits are doubles, and now the Brewers in business in the first.
And 3 of his last 4 hits have come to right field just like this, getting on top of a pitch away, driving it down that right field line. And Ryan Braun does that as well as anybody. Johnny Lucroy has to hold up at third base. Kemp got it in quickly. So the Brewers set up nicely here in the first inning.
Second and third, 1 man out. Here is Adam Lynn. Very limited matchups between the Brewer hitters and Tyson Ross. Adam Lind is 3 for 3 in his career against Ross, and one of those hits is a home run. in his time with the Blue Jays interleague matchup against Tyson Ross. But no Brewer has more than 8 at-bats against Ross. That's into left center. That's going to get down. Base hit. Lucroy scores. On to third, and a base hit RBI for Adam Lynn ties it up.
Yeah, a couple of pitches up in the zone in this inning for Tyson Ross, which is unusual. Adam Lynn able to dump that one into left. Didn't hit it all that well, but put it in a good spot. And Lucroy saw it was going to drop. Ryan Braun not sure, and he has to hold up at third base. Sometimes it's very difficult to elevate the baseball against Ross. He doesn't give up many home runs. Of course, his home ballpark helps him in that. He's only given up 4 this year.
I had a streak of 100 consecutive innings without allowing a home run this season. In trouble early. The Brewers have one in, 3 straight hits. Here's Chris Davis. And a big swing and a miss. Davis has some home run history against Ross here at Miller Park. Got one down and in and launched it into the Lowe's level at Miller Park. That was in 2014. 3 for 4 against Ross in his career. That home run, he's also walked. You like those memories. It's a big 2 months for Chris Davis. As he swings there. Can't check his swing. 0-2 the count.
It's that slider. It's a big slurvy slider. It's kind of a cross between a curveball and a slider. He'll throw that a lot. He throws the fastball a lot and not much else.
Oh, and 2 to Davis. First and third for the Brewers. And Davis lays off. Takes a ball down and away. At 1-2. Got to cash in when you can here. The Brewers have really struggled scoring runs lately. Milwaukee's dropped 10 of their last 12, and they've scored just 25 runs in those 12 games. Averaging just over 2 runs per game in this poor offensive stretch.
And they really haven't been able to hit the long ball. You know, the Brewers have had 3 home runs since the beginning of the last road trip, and Ryan Braun has all 3 of them. Nobody else hitting the long ball.
Brewers with 92 home runs as a team. This is game number 107 tonight for the Brewers. Davis has him at the corners. 2-2 the count. In the dirt. Good block back there by Hedges. And that fills the count. 3-2. From 0-2 to 3-2 on Davis. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Davis strikes out with runners at the corners. Now 2 outs for Ross.
And a lot of sliders for Chris Davis. Got him on one at 88 miles an hour. And you see Chris pulling his head off. That was right down the middle.
And that'll bring up Shane Peterson now. Drawing rave reviews from his manager. Peterson's been able to fill in wherever he's been asked to play. Even got a start at first base in a couple of games, and he played well over there. His best position is a corner outfield position, left or right. But he's been playing center field after the Brewers traded Gerardo Parra to Baltimore and Carlos Gomez to Houston. Don't really have a center fielder, so Peterson raised his hand, and he's done a good job out there.
Man, Logan Schaefer got called up. He's on the bench, but he has not been able to find the starting lineup. A couple of pinch hits. He's a natural center fielder, but Craig Counsell can't justify taking Peterson out of lineup. He's swinging the bat so well.
Very few Brewers are hitting. Peterson and Braun, the 2 that are right now. Trying to cash another one in here with 2 outs. Brewers have 1 in. Padres got a homer from Solarte in the first inning. Padres have done a lot of winning with Tyson Ross on the mound recently. In his last 8 starts, San Diego has won 6 of those. Generally keeps his team in the game, and he's an excellent pitcher. 0-2 on the way, and it's down and in. Padres are hoping he'll emerge into that ace role, and I mean, you could see that. He's not necessarily considered an ace around the entire league, but hoping to move into that #1 spot for San Diego. They have a hard throw and Andrew Kashner in their rotation as well. James Shields, just by experience, probably slots in as their top pitcher at this point. But I think if you're a Padres fan, you're looking at Tyson Ross as the guy to front this rotation.
Yeah, he was an all-star last year. He had a .281 earned run average in 31 starts last year, but 13-14, a losing record with an earned run average like that.
And the count goes full, 3-2. Peterson, one of 3 lefties in the lineup here tonight. Lind and Jeanette the others. Hitting 6th in the batting order tonight. In a run producer's role here. 1st and 3rd, 2 gone. And a throw to 3rd gets away. Ryan Braun will score.
Oh, what was that?
Adam Lind advances. Wow, that was a gift.
Why do you do that? I'm not sure why you do that. I mean, Ryan Braun not going anywhere. They decided to try and pick him up. Once you start, you have to throw. You can't fake the third base. It make no sense. I mean, Ryan Braun's about 2 strides off the bag, and he just gets back to third base and kind of jogs into home plate.
I think Tyson Ross went into that time warp where you used to be able to fake to third and throw to first.
Crazy play right there.
Just forgot and threw the ball. It was going to be a balk if he didn't throw it. That's a check swing from Peterson. He draws the walk. That's a play that, you know, we don't even really talk about much anymore, but a couple of years ago they took that out of the game. The only base you can fake to now is second base.
Yeah, and that's going to go away soon probably too.
I agree.
The old fake to third, throw to first. Can't do it anymore.
Padres pitching coach Darren Balsley is out to try to settle Ross down. Well, a run is in. Another run. 2 are in this inning on 3 hits. Now a walk. High pitch count in the first inning for Tyson Ross. And Segura can add to it. Another one in the dirt. Another block by Hedges.
Yeah, good defender behind home plate. Moves around pretty well. Tyson Ross leads the National League, or he's tied for second in wild pitches. So a lot of his sliders end up in the dirt. So if you're catching Tyson Ross, you better be ready to block.
That's one of the reasons Pat Murphy has Austin Hedges catching tonight as opposed to Derek Norris, who brings a bigger bat to the position. Hedges is an excellent defender, throws well, calls a good game, and Ross is probably the toughest to catch on the Padres. Brewers have made him work here in the first. 3 hits and a walk. 2 runs are in. 25 pitches already for Ross. Here's the 1-1. High for ball 2.
Fastball's been anywhere between 91 and 94 for Ross. That's about where he kind of lives throughout the game. He can reach back and maybe get a little extra, but and that's his cruising speed normally.
That one's in there. 2-2 now. A lot of deep counts. 7th batter of the inning. Adam Lind at second. Peterson at first. And in the dirt. So the count goes full. And both runners will get a head start.
And one of the reasons that slider is so difficult to break, and you see a lot of check swings, it breaks very late. Very late, sharp break to it. You've seen a number of check swings already today by the Brewers. What makes them very tough to hit also makes them very difficult to catch.
3rd consecutive full count for Ross. Both runners will start with the pitch. There they go. 3-2 is chopped foul. That pitch count continues to rise. Now, if you're an offense, these are the innings you love here. Your very first inning against a good pitcher on the mound, and you're making them work. High stress pitches early in the game. Every starter will tell you he's looking for an easy first inning, just a jump off inning coming in from the bullpen.
Takes a lot out of you. High pitch counts in the first. You're not quite loose.
Pitch number 30 of the inning. Runners go. 3-2 into right field. Kemp backing up on it. He's got it for the out. And the Brewers are down in the first, but a productive inning. Lucroy starts a string of 3 straight hits. Lind with an RBI. Another run scores on an error.
Series opener here at Miller Park. Willie Peralta making his second start after 2 months on the disabled list with a strained left oblique. And for pitching coach Rick Kranitz, it was all about Peralta pitching to his strengths in that first start back against the Giants. He said he was able to establish his fastball right away. 95, great movement on that fastball. Said he was able to work ahead in counts and also able to get a lot of swings on his slider. So he thought the changeup would be an effective pitch for him today with this lineup. Looking for Willie to work ahead in counts. And a quick note, guys, in the first inning, he was actually hit in the back of the head by a foul ball in the dugout, but got checked out. He's okay. Back to work on the mound.
Oh, wow. It's hazardous down there.
It'll wake you up, right?
As we've seen, Sophia's had to dodge a few foul balls as well, so we'll keep an eye on that. Thank you, Sophia. Good reporting there, as always. Peralta giving up a run in the first on a home run by Yangervis Solarte. Facing Yonder Alonso here, right off the label, fly ball routine for Davis for out number 1.
Well, the Brewers did it the right way when Willie, before he came back, he made 3 starts down in the minor leagues. Last start before coming back was 74 pitches, went 5 innings, gave up 1 run. So eased him in, which gave him the confidence to know he can let that fastball go. He was able to pitch 6 strong innings in that start against San Francisco.
Peralta went through the minor league rehab assignments very well. Last appeared in Double-A Biloxi and felt strong coming in. The pitch count will continue to rise as long as he's having success on the mound. He'll be allowed to go into the 100 pitch area.
Yeah, 84 pitches against the Giants.
Got the win that day. That was the lone win in that series against the reigning world champs. Peralta giving up the 2 runs in 6 innings. A ball and a strike on Jed Jerko. Misses away. 2-1. Well, Jerko back playing a lot, second base. Remember, he signed a big contract with the Padres and didn't produce like they'd hoped. Slow roller. Segura makes a beautiful play to get Jerko. Boy, he covered some ground that time.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. I mean, one of the best attributes that Segura has is his ability to catch the baseball, and because he's got such a low center of gravity, able to get on balance and get a good throw to first. Got Jerko by 3 steps.
First baseman love throws like that, right?
Yeah, right on the money.
Finishing kick right into the pocket. Hardly had to move. Did Lind. 2 up, 2 down for Peralta. Keep an eye on the ground ball count tonight for Peralta. That's a sign that he's going well when he starts getting a lot of ground balls. He got a ton against the Giants in his last start. And he gets a ground ball on Jerko. 2 ground ball outs thus far for Peralta of his 5 outs recorded.
10 ground ball outs against San Francisco.
Ten ground ball outs of the 18 outs he recorded,
including 2 double plays. That'll help you out.
The power sinker of Willie Peralta, and right down to the bottom of the zone it goes, and a swing and a foul by Hedges. Well, if you're Peralta and you're looking at the Padres, this is the part of the order you have to dominate tonight. Hedges, light hitting backup catcher. Upton's having a rough year offensively, and then the pitcher Tyson Ross. Try to make it easy on yourself.
Fastball has good life on it. Just see the way it just finishes in the strike zone.
Hitters count for Hedges, and he swings and launches one left field. It is hooking, and it is a foul ball. Yikes. Not by much. Hedges making a bid at just his 3rd home run of the season.
They got ahead of a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. That's tough to do. I guess 3-1. It's a free hack. That's what they used to call it anyway. You want to get the bat head out. That's what he did.
So the count is full now with 2 away. Peralta giving up a home run in the first to Solarte. Trying to make it a 3 up, 3 down second. He lost him. Willie falling off the mound. He was upset at himself, getting out of his mechanics a little bit. We used to see a lot of that when he first came up to the big leagues.
That's what happens when he overthrows. He had good velocity on it. 97, his best fastball, but nowhere close to the strike zone. Tried to get a little extra after Hedges almost took him out of the ballpark to left field.
You would imagine there's a little bit of rust to knock off, even though he pitched well against the Giants, and it's still his first game back from the DL. He missed 2 months. So you're back in the regular routine as a starting pitcher, which doesn't just count when you're on the mound every 5th day. It's all the work you do in between. As Upton a swing and a miss. Melvin Upton. He's been called BJ his entire career, but his name is Melvin, and everybody calls him Melvin, all of his friends and family, and he decided he wanted to go back to Melvin publicly.
Now we get to call him Melvin. Just not friends and family anymore.
Yeah, you can't just drop BJ on him anymore. So he's opening. He's a much kinder, gentler Upton. Get to call him by his friendly name. BJ was the name that he was called when he played because of his father. He is a junior. And he's reunited with his brother Justin. They played together in Atlanta. Separate trades by the Braves to the Padres as Upton pops this one foul.
Hasn't been the same since he left Tampa. This hasn't.
Well, he thrived under Joe Madden and the Tampa Bay Rays. Actually came up as a shortstop. Moved him to the outfield. Peralta's got him in a 2-2 count. Runner at first, 2 away. And a chopper foul. Upton was in the big leagues at age 19 in 2004. Then he was a regular in the big leagues in 07. Part of that Tampa Bay Rays World Series team in 2008. He and Matt Garza, teammates on that ball club. Best year in Tampa Bay was his last year, which got him a nice contract with the Braves. In the dirt, and the runner Hedges will advance on a wild pitch. So Peralta having a tough time getting the Brewers back to the dugout here with the bottom of the order at the plate. That last year in Tampa Bay for Melvin Upton, then known as BJ, hit 28 home runs. 78 runs batted in that year. Has not been the same player since, and actually had 30+ steals that season. One year had 44 stolen bases with the Rays.
Yeah, signed that big deal and just has not been able to live up to it. 5 years, making $15 million this year. Pretty good chunk of change, huh?
No question. There's a slider that misses. And so Peralta walking the 7th and 8th place hitters in this Padres lineup. And now the pitcher Ross will bat.
Trying to be a little bit too fine to the bottom half of this batting order. Walking the 7 and 8 hitters. Now you got the pitcher coming up.
Ross has 6 hits this year, and one of those hits was a home run. And he rips one right center field. That's down, a base hit. Coming around to score is Austin Hedges. And Peralta struggling here with the bottom of the order coming up. Gives up a game-tying single to Tyson Ross.
Yep, on the first pitch. Fastball down the middle, and Ross able to bang it into right field. It's a pretty good hack. He's hitting 200 now, which isn't too bad for a pitcher. And drives in the second run of the game for San Diego. So back-to-back walks, a hit by the pitcher, and Padres have tied it up.
That's a no-no for Willie Peralta. Quick visit to the mound by Rick Kranitz, the Brewer pitching coach. So we've already seen both pitching coaches already. And Peralta will face Alexi Amarista with runners at first and third and 2 away. Starts him with a slider. He missed with it. Amarista had 2 hits yesterday, including that game-tying home run against the Marlins. Had just 2 hits in the series. Snapped an 0 for 25 skid with a triple in yesterday's game, had a triple and a home run. Thought of as a utility player, but the Padres have had a hard time finding a regular shortstop, so Amarista more often than not has been the shortstop.
Perez thinks that Amarista might drop down a bunt. You can see him in on the grass. A lot of room over there on the left side.
And he rips one. That is down the line. That's going to go all the way into the corner. Upton scores. Ross around third. He'll try to score. The cutoff and relay comes in late. All the way to third goes Amarista. What an inning that is falling apart for Willie Peralta. 2 more runs are in, and the Padres now lead 4-2. This all coming with 2 outs.
Yep, on a 2-1 count. Willie really not able to do much with his slider so far. That pitch has been very inconsistent for him. So down and in, left-handers like it down there, and he rips it into the corner. Tyson Ross showing his athleticism, able to score from first base, showing some pretty good speed. And Amarista into third base on the throw.
First 2 men retired by Peralta, then back-to-back walks, followed by the hit by Ross, and then an extra base hit from Amarista. 4-2 San Diego. 3 runs are in here in the second inning. Solarte put the Padres on the board first with a home run in the first inning. By the way, Amarista credited with a triple there. So he has triples in his last 2 games. Peralta falling behind Solarte. There's a strike.
Ryan Braun shaded around toward the gap because he didn't think that Amarista would be able to pull the ball down the line, which he was able to do. And Willie giving him a 95-mile-an-hour fastball down and in. Rips it into the corner.
3 balls and a strike. These are the kind of innings you get back to the dugout and you say, how did that happen? How did it get away so quick? Got to make a good pitch here. 3-1, and it's ball 4. Third walk of the inning.
And one of the issues Willie's having right now, he's not able to get the slider close enough to the strike zone to get the swings with 2 strikes. That's what happened against Hedges. That's what happened against Melvin Upton. You get those pitches a little bit closer, you might get a swing and a miss. Is missing too badly with the breaking pitch.
17 pitches out of the strike zone thus far. Very un-Peralta like. So Matt Kemp is up now. Padres have him at the corners. They lead 4-2. We're only in the second inning. Kemp acquired from the Dodgers this offseason. He's in the middle of a long deal as well. Contract that'll run through 2019. That was an 8-year deal he signed with the Dodgers. Padres took on a whole lot of money and a whole lot of contracts. Trying to put some name players in their lineup. New general manager A.J. Preller coming from the Texas Rangers. He was underneath John Daniels with Texas. Gets his first chance in a GM role. As Kemp flies to right, that's going to stay in for Braun. And this inning finally ends for Willie Peralta. Damage done with 2 outs. 3 walks, 2 hits, 3-run score, and the Padres lead by 2. second inning. Now the Brewers trying to respond. Carsoup.com trivia. Who was the most valuable player on the 1992 Notre Dame baseball team, coached by Pat Murphy, current manager of the Padres? That's a bit of a layup if you've been with us. But it's a good, timely question that'll give us many innings of friendly banter.
You don't think it's a trick question, do you?
I don't think so, but it could be. Brian Michalowicz is in there tonight, and he's
well rested.
He can be sneaky, and he is certainly well rested. Hernan Perez will lead off for the Brew Crew, now down 2. Runs in every frame so far. Padres got 1 in the top of the first. Brewers answered with 2 in the home half. And then a 3-run top second. Amarista takes care of Perez for out number 1. It's got to be cool for Craig Counsell, though, and he has a lot of respect for Pat Murphy. And if you remember, when Counsell took over as manager of the Brewers after 25 games into the season, there was a lot of discussion, a lot of rumors, a lot of talk that Pat Murphy might be joining the Brewers major league coaching staff. At the time, Murphy was managing in AAA, and the Padres declined that request, not knowing to the public that he would ultimately be the manager of the Padres. But certainly the Padres had an idea that if things went south with Bud Black and they felt like they needed to make a move, then Pat Murphy was going to be their next manager. And that's exactly the way it went down. So now it makes sense why the Padres wouldn't authorize Counsell and the Brewers to bring him to Milwaukee in the middle of the season.
Right.
Teams very rarely stand in the way of a guy who gets a major league job offer. Peralta chops one to third base. Solarte will make the play. 2 outs.
And they responded pretty well to him. It's taken a while, but you know, since July 11th, one of the hottest teams in baseball.
There's a throwback. Throwback Monday, we call it. We make our own throwbacks. Pat Murphy with the great Harry Carey. And Craig Counsell as his star player that year. Yep. These guys go way, way back. Craig Counsell said at the time he did not. Let's see how he put it. He said, I said, did you love playing for me? He said, I didn't love playing for Pat Murphy. But once I got out of college and into the pro game, I realized how good he was for me and the rest of
learned a lot
of his teammates. And he was a hard guy. Craig Counsell said he made him tough. He made him focus in and be tough-minded, be able to take criticism and be able to deal with praise as well. You know, Counsell was having a great year and great career there at Notre Dame. And I thought it was interesting. Sophia interviewed Pat Murphy before the game, and he said Craig Counsell taught him a lot about coaching at the collegiate level and as a manager, which is interesting. A little jam shot roller to Amarista, and Ross, after his club gets him 3 runs, a shutdown bottom of the second. We go to the third.
Margarita is in Mauston, Wisconsin. Mauston about halfway between here and Minneapolis on 94. If the time and contact calls the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a 2015 Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Here we go to the third inning. Brewers Padres, game one of this 4-game series. Willie Peralta having a rough second, having a rough start tonight. He's given up 4 runs on 3 hits. He has walked 3. And Justin Upton swinging away at the first offering. Upton takes a strike. Quickly 0-2 on Justin. Padres have won 5 of their last 6 series. So that's why they feel like they stick this this wild card race out. They may have some action. There's a drive into right center off the base of the wall, and Upton on an 0-2 pitch lines a double into right center, and unless Willie Peralta turns it around quickly, this is going to be a short stay tonight.
Yeah, he's pushing 50 pitches already. Nobody out in the third inning, and on an 0-2 pitch, making a mistake to Upton. Just kind of sticks the bat out there. You can see the way that baseball jumps off his bat. Big, strong right-handed hitter. Short hops the ball out there and right. Just can't quite get the feel for that slider tonight. That's been the problem.
So Justin Upton, a leadoff double. Here's Yonder Alonso.
Lucroy trying to pump him up. I mean, you know, Willie's having a rough time out there, just trying to get his confidence back somehow. A lot of times when you're struggling with the slider, flip up a couple of curveballs. Maybe that'll, you know, get you locked back in on your release point. Certainly helped Jimmy Nelson's slider this year.
And he almost hits Alonso. 2-0 the count. I don't know. Sophia reported earlier that Peralta was hit in the head by a foul ball between the first and the second inning. Don't know if that has any effect on him or not. But he certainly hasn't been the same.
Well, he looked good in the beginning of the second inning. You know, 2 up, 2 down. It looked pretty effortless, and then all of a sudden couldn't find home plate.
Four hits, 3 walks allowed already. It's only the 14th batter of the game for Peralta, and that one's into center field. Peterson, playing deep, will make the catch. Upton's going to tag. The throw comes in late.
Yeah, hacking on 3-0. Had a good pitch to hit and flew out to center field, but he was able to advance the base runner.
Glenn Hoffman, third base coach, older brother of Trevor, longtime third base coach of the San Diego Padres.
And former manager of the Dodgers. Glenn Hoffman and I were teammates with the California Angels back in '89 and '90. Hoffy.
The original Hoffy.
Yeah.
Runner at third, 1 away, and Jerko takes a ball. Brewers have their infield in.
I wonder how many fungos that Glenn Hoffman's hit in his career. I mean, he's been in baseball. It's got to be, 30-some years.
Sure. Yeah, he played in the big leagues. He was with Boston.
Boston and California. Long-time third base coach with the Dodgers. Then he got the managerial job for a couple of years.
Well, that was in that transition period when Tommy Lasorda moved into the GM role back in the late 90s. There's a base hit left center. It's going to bring in a run. Jed Jerko singles, and the Padres lead 5-2 now. RBI single with one away for Jerko.
Yep, infield in, fastball down, out over the plate. Very hittable. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of movement with that fastball for Willie tonight. Hey, remember his fastball against the Giants had some good downward action to it, getting a lot of ground ball outs. He's only got 2 ground ball outs here tonight.
And Michael Blazek is getting loose. Never a good sign to see the bullpen active in the 3rd inning. Peralta, the only outing this year where he hasn't pitched at least 5 innings was the outing he got hurt in. That game against Atlanta back on May 22nd. Went just 4 innings in that game. Back up the middle. Jeanette has it behind the back, and he misfires to second base. Might have been the only play he had. It would have been slick if he pulled it off, but instead it goes as an infield hit, first and second now.
Just running too hard away from second base to be able to stop and flip it over to Segura, but that's about as impossible a play as there is, as fast as he was going toward left field. It'll be a base hit.
3 hits in the inning. 2 on with 1 out for Melvin Upton. These are humblers for a starting pitcher. Peralta's worst start of the year. He gave up 6 earned runs in 7 innings against the Reds back in April. Really only had 2 bad starts this year. 5 earned runs in 5 innings against the Mets. He's already given up 5 tonight. 1 out in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, you can understand it was his first start coming off that disabled list, but it wasn't. He pitched very well. This is a bit disappointing. Really doesn't have the command. Looks like he's overthrowing a bit. Getting behind the count consistently.
He misses again. 3-1 now. A lot of hitters counts. Peralta just doesn't have it. Figures to be his last hitter. You do have the pitcher coming up next, so you could get Upton here and then maybe a way out of the inning with Tyson Ross due next, but Ross has already driven in a run with a hit. Blazek is loose in the bullpen, and Upton swings and pops it up. Braun will come in. He's got it for the out. 2 outs on a 3-1 pitch. So the 2 outs in this inning on a 3-0 pitch and a 3-1 pitch.
Yeah, both hit pretty well, but Upton got under that one. Easy catch for Braun.
Having trouble getting ahead.
Either missing the strike zone or getting too much of it. One of the two.
So Ross, who jumped on the first pitch last time, gets a breaking ball this time in there for a strike. Oh, and 2. That's a nice play. Ross's hit is his 7th of the year. That RBI. Yeah, she's excited, right? That gives him an even 200 batting average. That's like hitting 300 for a position player.
Hey, you hit 200 as a pitcher for the season. That's a pretty good year. Batting average 200, on base percentage 200. It's a big strike zone. What's he, 6'3"? 6'3", 215 pounds.
2 on, 2 out, and a ground ball foul. Boy, Ross going at it aggressively. Tough night for Peralta. Blazek continues to loosen in the bullpen. If Peralta does not retire Ross, sure it'll be his last hitter. Might be his last hitter anyway. We'll see. Brewers have not been scoring runs, and to fall behind 5-2 this early is troublesome. There's a swing and a miss. That's one of his better sliders yet. Strikes out Ross. Another run is in for San Diego. To Fox Sports Wisconsin and by Hupy and Abraham. 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. Not a good start for the Brew Crew. Let's see if they can turn this big boat around here. 5-2. They trail Tyson Ross and the Padres. Bottom of the third coming up. The Brewers will have Lucroy, Braun, and Lind to start it. Full schedule of games tonight in the big leagues. One of 15 here in Milwaukee. Typically Mondays are, there's some off days. I beg your pardon. There are not 15 games. That was yesterday's schedule, Rock.
Close enough.
There are 11 games tonight. I thought that was a little strange. Yes, 11 games tonight in the major leagues. We'll keep track of them, see what's going on. They've got a rain delay in Pittsburgh. That's really the big one in the National League. The Cubs and the Pirates battling for that wild card spot. And that game delayed in the second inning. And the Cubs had Lester on the mound tonight.
How's everything with the tarp in Pittsburgh tonight?
Tarp unrolled beautifully, I'm told. No flying grounds crew members. That happened earlier in the season, just a few weeks ago.
Say, wind catches those things, man. Look out, huh?
I'm telling you.
I know you.
I've
tarp.
I've had a little experience on the tarp.
I know
now.
you have. That's why I said it.
Even though you were a star baseball player and kind of had everything laid out for you, the rest of us who just loved the game so much but had no talent had to, do a lot of the dirty work around the field, and tarp crew was one of them.
In all honesty, I don't remember playing in the minor leagues with a tarp.
Really?
No, I don't remember one. We didn't have one at Clemson for sure. We didn't have a tarp.
Huh.
A ball, rookie ball, nope.
Are you misremembering, or are you just?
I'm telling you, I remember perfectly.
Lucroy strikes out for the first out of the inning.
We're talking, 1979, 1980.
Okay, so 15, 20 years later, everybody has tarps.
All right, well, it's the way it was.
Yeah, that's where I learned my tarp skills. If I could give you a piece of tarp advice for if it ever comes up, you really need to get air under the tarp when it's wet. That's the only way to get it moving.
Except a lot of wind.
And you get a little air and you get a little wind, and you might go flying with it. Then you're going to need some sandbags and maybe a few carts.
What is the minimum amount of people you need to roll out a tarp?
That's a great question. That's a great tarp question.
I mean, it's not like the big leagues where there's dozens.
No. That's why it was all hands on deck in the minor leagues. But I think you could do it with 8, 6 if it was dry and the rain hadn't come yet. But once the tarp gets wet, you really need about 12 is ideal. I was thinking about going pro at one point in tarp pulling. They have a tarp pulling competition.
What happened?
I got derailed. I wasn't quite good.
You didn't
enough.
find that growth spurt?
It does help to have a little. You'd have been an ideal tarp guy.
I know. I'm saying.
I mean, great.
I would
anchor.
have helped had we had one.
It does. You got to be a little nimble though on the tarp. You can't just. It does take some quickness.
Yeah. Well.
Or else you get thrown. Braun bounces to third. Solarte long throw right on the money. Lucroy and Braun retired. Tyson Ross all of a sudden has retired 6 in a row after giving up 2 runs in the first. Brewers had 3 straight hits in the first. Adam Lind had the third of the 3 in a row, and it produced a run. His 61st RBI of the year. And a little base hit into left center. Columbia St. Mary's worth another look for Adam Lind.
Things are looking good then. Bottom of the first inning, a 2-1 lead.
And the Padres have scored 4 unanswered since. There's a shot back up the middle. Lind starting to heat him up. Lind had 2 hits Saturday, 2 more hits yesterday, and he has 2 on the board tonight.
Hasn't been real streaky, but there were a couple of stretches this year where he had a difficult time finding hits. One earlier in the year, and he's just getting out of one right now.
That'll get Chris Davis a swing here in this 3rd inning. Well, all 3 San Diego runs in the second came with 2 outs. Brewers trying to do the same here in the bottom of the 3rd. The Padres coming into play tonight are 6.5 games back of the 2nd wild card spot. 10.5 games behind the Pirates for wild card number 1. So they're going to have to leapfrog 4 teams.
Yeah, which you could double that then, right? 6.5 games. You got to get over 4 teams. So then you got to do a lot of winning, and then the other teams have to do a lot of losing. Odds are against them, but you never know. That's a good block by Hedges. He's good.
He's moving well tonight. And he's been on base twice. He drew a walk. He had an infield hit. So he's contributing offensively. And Padres know he gives them a lot defensively behind the plate. 2 balls and a strike on Davis. Lind over at first, and Davis takes one outside. A slider That's a pitch that struck him out in the first inning.
That's a good pitch for Ross, and when he's able to get it close enough, especially when he's ahead in the count, hitters protecting the plate, that's when it's a real tough pitch. Not so much when hitters are ahead in the count. There's 1-0 on 3-1.
Brewers are just trying to get Davis to stop putting so much pressure on himself. He knows this is an important 2 months for him. Had the starting job to begin the year. Struggled a little bit. Had the knee injury. Knocked him out for a month. Lynn takes off. Little half swing. And he's able to check it. So a walk for Davis. Yeah, a little something with 2 out cooking against Tyson Ross. 2 on with 2 away for Shane Peterson.
Yeah, one with the slider again. This time Chris Davis able to hold up. It was close, but Larry Vanover gave Davis the benefit of the doubt.
Peterson walked his last time up. Got into a 3-2 count. But a lot of deep counts. Ross had 30 pitches in the first inning. Had 11 last inning. Number 62 already. We're in the third. Down and in. He and Peralta having a tough time finding the strike zone tonight.
Neither one of them very sharp. You look at his start, this game coming in, you figure it might be quick. 2 offenses that haven't really been, doing a whole lot. You got 2 pretty good pitchers out there. It's been just the opposite. Both of them having a tough time.
Peterson's not a young guy. He's 28, but getting his first significant run in the major leagues. He's never played this many games in the big leagues. Had a brief stay in the major leagues with the Oakland A's 2 years ago. There's a strike. He didn't like that call. 2-2 the count.
One of those guys, when you look at him, you watch him play, nothing really jumps out at you. Speed, range, throwing arm, although it's accurate, gives you a good at bat. But the more you watch him, you realize the guy doesn't make too many mistakes out there. Knows how to play a headsy baseball player.
He's in a 2-2 count. Trying to deliver here, and that one is inside. Good take. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That's the second full count he's been in tonight. He had an interesting run earlier in July. In and around the All-Star break, he had 6 consecutive at-bats, producing 6 straight hits, and they were all off the bench. 6 straight successful pinch hit appearances, including a couple of doubles. Runners go, and a called strike 3. Peterson is rung up, and the inning ends. 5-2, Padres lead. And it is now time for you to tweet us your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag WisDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile. Make a contribution to the broadcast tonight. We're asking you, please. Make us laugh. Peralta returns to the mound. Starts his 4th inning.
I got a couple of pictures in my phone. Can I send them in?
Sure, give it a try. You never know. How many pictures of your granddaughter on that phone? Madeline, does that occupy most of the space?
Half.
The way it should be. In the air, right center. Amarista sends one deep, and it'll one hop out for a ground rule double.
Yeah, and that'll get that bullpen busy once again. Craig Counsell electing to stick with Peralta, and 4th inning not starting out all that great. An extra base hit.
Amarista is really rolling right now at the plate. Triple and a homer yesterday. He's got a triple and a double tonight. And here's Yonever Solarte now, who homered in the 1st inning. He was in attack mode on Peralta and did not miss. Hit off the back of the wall out there. Home run number 6 for Solarte, and he walked his last time up. This is the kind of game, if you're in a pennant race, if you're Craig Counsell, Willie Peralta is out, but it's a different setting right now. And one thing the Brewers are trying to do with Peralta is stack his innings up. I mean, you don't want to leave him out there to dry if he can't get anybody out. There's a chopper to second base. And there's out number 1. That moves Amarista to 3rd. So you try to get him to it, see if he can get dialed in. He's just coming back. He missed so much time. You want to get him on a finishing kick here in the final 2 months of the year. And when you're not in a pennant race, you can afford to do things like this. As agonizing as it might be.
Well, you just want to get him to his pitch count. Maybe get him to 90, 95 pitches. So that next time out, when he's much sharper, he'd be able to have that stamina.
Infield in for Matt Kemp.
The Brewers don't have an off day until Monday coming up. So you don't want to blow out your bullpen with a week of games left before an off day.
Kemp is 0 for 2, both outs to right field tonight. Has tremendous opposite field power.
Power numbers okay, and 57 RBIs. The batting average down a little bit for Kemp. 11 home runs, not bad when you consider they play their home games at Petco Park. That's a big ballpark.
Kemp finished runner-up in the MVP race to Ryan Braun back in 2011. Kemp signed an 8-year deal with the Dodgers at that point. They had a logjam in the outfield, and they had Jock Peterson coming up. They wanted him to play center field. So even though it was inside the division, Dodgers Padres were able to work a trade. Grandal went to the Dodgers. He's been a star. There's a base hit. That's going to bring in a run. And the Padres have scored in every inning thus far. It's now 6-2 San Diego. And this one is close to getting away from Peralta, and now Counsell on his way out. He's forced to make a move. Tough night at the office for Willie Peralta. 3 1/3. And at this point, 6 earned runs. And Counsell will take the ball and make the call to the bullpen. We'll take a timeout. It's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. Brewers need a mulligan tonight. Did you buy any mulligans before the game tonight?
I always do.
Tough night for Willie Peralta. That's a lonely feeling right there.
Yep.
His buddy Martin Maldonado there to pick him up a little bit. You don't even need to say anything. When you're friends like that, you just sit next to him. It's a good lesson.
Just wait for him to say something and just kind of pump him up a little bit. Nothing you can say to a pitcher when he's had an outing like that. Even a position player after the game. No sense in going up and having a chat. You know how he feels.
There will be better days, Willie.
We play this game long enough. Everybody experiences that. As Michael Blazek takes over, and game number 43, one home run allowed. That happened against the Cubs. The first he's given up in actually 2 years with the Brewers. He's got a .225 earned run average and a 5-2 record.
So Blazek will get extended work here. Try to finish this fourth. Sure you'd see him in the fifth. And here is Justin Upton. I noticed the Upton brothers, both of them use the ash bat, not the maple bat. There's so many maple bats. You could tell by the grain right there on the bat. These are when we talk about bats that break and those bat heads that go helicoptering into the stands. These kind of bats that the Uptons use, they don't do that. They just splinter. And you don't see many of these bats anymore.
You don't see bats, period. You can see the grain, as you mentioned. I mean, because, those maple bats, they lacquer them. They lacquer over the top of them. And those are the ones that blow up. These actually crack like the old days.
Now, what would be the difference if you're a hitter? I mean, there's the grain, and hitters always talk about big league grain, right? And this looks like, of course, it's a big league bat, but it's the space between the grains, isn't it?
Space between the grains, and even more importantly, how straight the grain is. It goes down the barrel of the bat. You don't want a wiggly, line going down. And that bat looks pretty straight. The grain does.
And the sweet spot of that bat, if we could throw that up again, the sweet spot of Upton's bat is the center of the tree, basically, right? The hardest part, the oldest part of it, right there in the sweet spot.
Well, some hitters, like Robin Yount, always used to get the greatest wood. Good hitters are going to get that. They deserve it. I used to get the bark.
The outer rim. Wood discrimination.
Yeah.
Based on
telling you.
I could see it.
Yeah. Save the best wood for, guys like Yount, guys like George Brett.
I mean, that's the best wood you can possibly get.
Yeah.
Right there.
And the sweet spot's about 2 inches from the end of the bat, and it runs about, 4 inches? Yeah, get them there on a sweet spot, and then when you make contact, you don't even feel it. There's no wobble in the bat. That's what they say, anyway.
I never found the barrel that much.
I've found the barrel a lot in the minor leagues, but not often in the big league. Let's put it that way.
And then isn't there something else where you don't hit perpendicular to the grain?
Yeah, you have the the label facing you,
up or down.
Right.
Didn't Wade Boggs? I think Ted Williams used to have the label down, but never label out. Ground ball to short. Segura to Jeanette. Throw to first is in time, and Blazek a double play to get out of the inning. And all you've ever wanted to know about a big league bat.
here at Miller Park for Bob Uecker Bobblehead Day, courtesy of Palermo's Pizza. This Sunday at 1 o'clock, the Brewers battle the St. Louis Cardinals, and all fans get a bobblehead modeled after Ueck's famous last throw statue at Miller Park. Visit Brewers.com to reserve your spot today.
That's a good likeness of Bob Uecker. He's well tanned, well groomed, got the good hair going. Sharp man.
Did you go up there today?
No, not today. I'm gonna though. We'll get up there before the year's out. I was very busy before the game today, Ron. Very busy. Segura takes a strike.
What was going on?
Well, you were part of it. We had the Brewers Community Foundation auction winners. We had them up for our dinner with Bill and Brian and
the Crux.
And yeah, they were the Crux. That was their last name, the Crux. Right. And Dr. Kruk purchased the dinner, went into the production truck down on the field for batting practice. And, you know, we had our auction, what was that, in May? On live television.
BCF auction.
A lot of items up for bid and dinner with us. Why anybody would bid on that, I have no idea, but they all had a great time and we had fun with them here today.
That was a good time. You got a tile guy out of it?
I did. We'll see. Everybody's got to have a good tile, man.
I told him to upcharge you, by the way.
Let's see how many tickets it's going to take to get this shower done. Jam shot out to second base. And there is out number one. Segura retired. It was a busy day on the field as well because you have the connection of Pat Murphy, the Padres manager, and Craig Counsell. So, you know, we're all kind of anxious to hear what these two guys have to say about each other in case it comes up.
Oh, it did, didn't it?
We forced it to
with
come
pictures.
Up.
That was good. Good story.
Hernan Perez with one away. Right to Amarista. Ross starting to get his ground balls now. 2 outs. Well, you can see legendary Lambeau Field like you've never seen it before, Rock. Saturday, August 15th. You can rappel down the side of Lambeau Field for the ultimate fan experience while raising money for Special Olympics Wisconsin. Sign up today. Limited spots available. More information at foxsportswisconsin.com/events. You ever consider rappelling down Lambeau Field or any other tall building?
No, not really. I'll be more than happy to write a check to support the cause, but I will not be going down the side of a building on a rope.
Brewers will be home that weekend. It's kind of like that, except going the other way. Blazek grounds to short, and that's an easy inning for Tyson Ross. 1, 2, 3, go the Crew. To the 5th we go, 6-2 Friars.
And the Brewers kick off the weekend series against the Cardinals this Friday at 7 o'clock. And all fans at Miller Park get a free Retro Brewers t-shirt courtesy of Orbis Corporation. Call 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com for tickets.
It's one of my favorite free shirt Friday t-shirts right there. I like that logo. It's just a simple M, you know. It's the simplicity of it makes it beautiful.
The original.
Michael Blazek back on the mound. He'll start a full inning here in the 5th. He got a double play to end the 4th. Closing the book on Willie Peralta tonight. 3 1/3 with 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Tough night for Willie. Yonder Alonso will lead off for San Diego. He's 0 for 2. Padres have 8 hits through the first 4 innings, 4 walks. 3 walks, I beg your pardon. And that one's in the air, center field, right there for Peterson. Out number 1. Got some big games going on tonight. Pennant race baseball starting to heat up now as we move into August. Did you see the effort by David Price? His first start as a Blue Jay. Dominating start against the Twins today. Had 11 strikeouts in 8 innings. Gave up just 1 run. I thought it was interesting after the game. David Price said, greatest atmosphere he has ever pitched in.
Really?
At Rogers Center. He's never experienced anything like it.
Wow.
He's been in the postseason. Pitched for the Tigers last year in the postseason. He pitched for the Rays. Remember Price that in 2008 came out of the bullpen and was a star. So that's pretty tall praise for his new team. That ball's ripped. Jed Jerko will watch that one fly out of here. And a solo home run for Jed Jerko. The Padres continue to score in every inning. Jerko with 2 RBIs in this one.
Well, that one had that sound, no doubt, off the bat of Jerko that time. Fastball for Blazek. Got a lot of the plate, 93 miles an hour. Check it out. Look at the location. It's supposed to be away down the middle, and right off the bat, you knew that was out. Back-to-back outings for Michael Blazek, allowing home runs. Having not given up a home run as a Brewer in 2 years. Not until Saturday against the Cubs.
And that's what the sweet spot sounds like.
Right.
Austin Hedges, Padres catcher. Been on twice, a walk and a single. So remember yesterday, Chris Bryant of the Cubs slid into second base. He left the game with a head injury and a collision at second base and a tag with Segura. Segura hit him in the head, as it turns out, with the ball in the glove. Slapped him in the back of the head with a tag, trying to get him out. But Bryant's okay. He's not going on the disabled list, and he is now rethinking the head first slide, which is not a bad move. Go feet first instead. Yeah, Hedges flies out for the second out.
Yeah, the feet first slide. I mean, one thing, you're not going to overslide the bag when you do that. And the second, you might get there maybe a split second, a little bit longer to get there, because you have to slow down in order to slide a little bit more. But you can protect yourself a lot better when you do that. You avoid that slapping the glove on the top of the head, and you can avoid those hand and wrist injuries.
And infielders aren't as inclined to block the base off when you're coming in feet first with the spikes up. It is interesting, though. A lot of players prefer it one way or the other. It's hard to change. been trying to get Gene Segura to slide feet first. He broke his pinky sliding head first into third base earlier this year. And they've been trying to get him to go feet first, but he can't do it. It's not there yet. Not an instinct that he can call on when he's in the middle of a game. Aramis Ramirez was a feet first slider, but he slid with the wrong foot, which put his knee in a bad spot. And he couldn't switch back to the other foot, so he started to slide head first on those rare occasions when he would slide.
Yeah, guys started to slide head first when the uniforms were fit a little bit tighter. You know, those old wool uniforms, you know, baggy. If you slide head first, you're going to stick like a long dart. You're not going to be able to slide like that. I mean, Pete Rose was the guy that I remember really started everybody sliding head first.
Yeah, with the tight polyester jerseys.
It's more aerodynamic on the ground.
Doesn't gather up the plow. Plus the infields are way more manicured now than they were back in the wool uniform days.
I never remember seeing any video of Ty Cobb going head first. He always had the feet up about 3 feet.
Yeah, and spikes high, and usually spikes he had sharpened before the game.
Yeah, glistening.
Started a number of brawls.
Yeah,
a famous one between he and Honus Wagner of the Pirates.
I think about sliding head first. You know, with the replay and everything these days. I mean, a lot of times you go head first. I mean, you'll slide across the bag, and if any part of your body loses contact with the base, and the tag is still applied to your body, I mean, they could call you out these days. They never would do that before. A lot of reasons not to slide head first.
Oh, and 1 to Tyson Ross. Blazek walking Upton.
Catchers used to love when base runners tried to score going head first. You just throw that shin guard in there and they ate that plastic.
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah,
easy pickings.
You'll never see anybody go head first back in those days. Not too many anyway.
Remember the days of catcher collisions?
Oh, I remember.
Didn't you have a collision with Bo Jackson once?
No.
Who was your big collision? You had a big collision with somebody.
I had one in college. The worst one I had was in college. I was too nimble to get run over.
Yes, you were. Still are. Blazek strikes out Ross. Padres score again at 7-2.
On Sunday afternoon, the Brewers Community Foundation joined other sponsors in an opening ceremony celebration for the 2015 JCC Maccabee Games. More than 1,000 Jewish children from all over the world participate in a variety of sporting events throughout the week. Mark and Debbie Adanasio are one of the honorary chairs for this year's event. Rick and Kate Schlesinger provided a hearty welcome at the opening ceremonies last night. The games include a baseball tournament at Glendale Little League Field and Stormouth School in Fox Point, with the championship game being played at Kemco Field.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Good info. Good fun event. And the boss is involved. That makes it more fun.
Better be.
Scooter Gennett will lead off against Tyson Ross. We start playing the bottom of the 5th. Ross giving up 2 runs in the first and has not allowed a run since. Meanwhile, his offense is churning along tonight. 7 runs on 9 hits.
And 1 ground ball out after another, since the first inning.
Gennett is 0 for 2. One of those runs in the first inning on a Ross error. He was throwing to third base with Braun on base, and he threw it away. Brewers have 1 RBI tonight. That was Adam Lind in the first. Had 3 straight hits in that first inning. They've had 1 since. Adam Lind singled in the third. And Gennett over to first base. Alonso on a hop gets it to Ross for the out. Good play by the San Diego first baseman. As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong Fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag #WishDataStrongFan, and that's a winner every time. It covers the animal portion, and it's got the mascot portion. There's a sponsor involved, and you're all good.
The chorizo taunting the dog. That's not a good idea.
It's a chew toy chorizo is what that is.
Right.
It's all brought to you by T-Mobile. Don't forget, you can send us your entry. Thank you, Lindsay.
I sent in a photo today. They didn't make it.
Maybe tomorrow, Rock. There's always tomorrow. By the way, I want to say hello to a big Brewers fan out there watching tonight, Lorraine Grobschmidt. She's 90 years old. She watches every game. She's even hanging in there with this one at 7-2. She's expecting a comeback. So hello to Lorraine Grobschmidt. Thanks for watching. Lucroy takes a ball down and out. 2-1. Shattered his bat, and Jerko makes a play for out number 2. Blew it up right at the handle.
That's the maple. That's what happens to maple right there. Yep. Ooh, right off the end, the ash bats do not do that. Well, they say the maple a little bit harder, a little bit more brittle though. You don't hit them on the sweet spot, that's what can happen.
Now here's Ryan Braun with 2 away.
I got a text message from the clubhouse. That bat that Lucroy's used is birch.
Oh, it's a birch bat.
Yeah.
All right. It's good information.
I stand corrected.
So we got ash, we got maple, and birch.
I want to thank Jason Schauger for that information.
Back in the old days, old days, Babe Ruth, for example, used a hickory bat. Extremely heavy.
They never broke.
Use them the whole year.
But you remember back in those days, I mean, if you watch videos, I mean, the handles were really thick. They didn't have the thin handle bats like they have these days.
What's a hickory, let's say a 35-inch hickory bat weigh ounces? 38, 39 maybe?
I don't know.
39 ounces?
I don't know.
They were always more than the length.
Well, the Babe used to use one of the biggest bats of all time. Dick Allen used a very big bat. We're talking, 40 ounces.
Wow. What's the heaviest bat used in today's game, would you say? 34 ounces?
Yeah, I think, Braun uses, I think, 35. They used 35, 33 back in my day.
Babe Ruth had a bat that was 53 ounces. I think it's in the Hall of Fame. A hickory bat.
Yeah. And guys will change. I mean, they'll go up and down based on how they're feeling, the time of the year. Back in the 80s, early 90s, use a different bat based on who was pitching, obviously, oddly enough. The idea is you want to use the densest, heaviest bat you can and still be able to swing it because you get good wood that way. That's why you have a lot of hitters cut the ends out. They take the unnecessary weight out of the end. So essentially you're getting a bat that's a lot heavier, but you're taking some of it away so it feels a little bit lighter to you.
There's a swing and a miss. Braun strikes out. Tyson Ross with a 3-up, 3-down fifth with his 4th strikeout. Together. We head to the top of the 6th. New pitcher for Milwaukee is Corey Knebel.
You see the numbers for Corey pretty good. 25 appearances and a 286 earned run average. More strikeouts than innings pitched. And last pitched on Saturday against the Cubs and tossed a scoreless inning. Walked the batter but struck out a couple.
So Peralta starts, gives up 6 runs in 3 1/3. Blazek giving up a run in an inning and 2/3. Home run by Jed Jerko. And now Knebel. Alexi Amarista. Padres are at the top of their order. He has 2 hits tonight. I'm sure he's tired of hearing that the Padres don't have a shortstop. It's been a very common discourse concerning the San Diego Padres this year. They were very active even in spring training trying to find an everyday shortstop. They'd rather have Amarista in there as a utility man. And the search continues for a shortstop. I think most felt that even if the Padres were going to try to keep most of their players in get back in the race in the month of August that they were still going to try to acquire a shortstop, but that did not happen. Amarista enjoying the playing time, and he's starting to hit. After an 0 for 25 slump, he has 4 hits. And there's a swing and a miss. Lucroy able to get the tag on him to secure the strikeout. Good start for Knebel.
And that big curveball, it's been a good pitch for him.
Back to our Carsub.com email, or rather trivia question. Who was the most valuable player on the '92 Notre Dame baseball team? Coached by Pat Murphy. Of course, that is Craig Counsell. Hit .339 that year, 1992. I don't think anybody expected the kind of big league career that Craig Counsell would go on to have, even though he was a great collegiate player. Always the underdog, Counsell. And he's been a part of some of the biggest moments in the game. 2 World Series titles, scored the winning run in a World Series game with the Marlins in '97. There's a swing and a miss. Knebel making quick work out of Solarte.
And nasty curveball. Well, gets ahead in the count. He's been impressive. Well, you like his aggressiveness. The way he's able to, have confidence enough in that fastball to be able to throw it, and not afraid to throw it down the middle. He figures with his velocity he can get away with it. When he gets 2 strikes, that nasty curveball is his put-away pitch.
Matt Kemp with 2 away. Right off Lucroy's helmet. Pirates and Cubs are back at play after a long rain delay. It's going to be a fun series to watch. Cubs have the Pirates and the Giants coming up. Giants at Wrigley Field next weekend. Wonder if the Cubs have enough staying power. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. Knebel a chance to strike out the side. Fitting for a pitcher whose last name starts with a K. Got him. How about that? Corey Knebel striking out the Padres. 3 up, 3 down, 3 Ks. 2 good hooks. And then going after Matt Kemp with the fastball right by him. Well done, Corey. And the Powerball home run count for Milwaukee, 92. They've been in a bit of a home run drought here lately. Ryan Braun with the lone home run over the last 2 series. Adam Lind is right behind Braun, who has 19. Lind's hit 16. And they could use a few of those here tonight. Davis now 3rd on the club. Brewers trading away some big home run hitters, and Ramirez and Parra, Gomez. Adam Lind takes strike 1 from Ross.
Well, how about the turnaround for Ross tonight? I mean, first inning looked like he wasn't going to last very long, but he's been cruising since. A lot of ground ball out, some strikeouts mixed in there. Brewers had an opportunity in the 3rd inning, but that's been it. Tyson Ross.
He's got a brother pitching in the big leagues, Joe Ross of the Washington Nationals, younger brother. Tyson's 28, 6'5", 230. Padres got him from the Oakland Athletics. Oakland never expected that he'd be this kind of pitcher. Last year he had an earned run average of .281 despite a losing record last year. 31 starts, he had 195 innings. He almost got to that 200 inning mark and was an all-star last year. 7-8 this year, but again a good ERA, 3.38 earned run average. Walks have been his problem this year. He's leading the league and the major leagues in walks.
Well, he's walked 2 tonight. Neither one of them have been able to come around to score.
63 walks now on the season for Ross. Last year he walked 72 the entire year. He came to the Padres in the offseason of 2012-2013, prior to the 13 season. As Lind, a swing and a miss. Down he goes. Strikeout number 5 for Ross.
Looks like it was some type of a cut fastball, something like that. 88 miles an hour, maybe a hard slider. Pitching with a lot of confidence, just going right after these Brewers hitters.
Here is Chris Davis. Strikeout and a walk tonight. Brewers faced Tyson's brother Joe back in June when the Nationals were here, and Joe pitched very well against Milwaukee. In the air to center field, routine for Melvin Upton, and there is out number 2. In that game, Joe Ross went 8 innings, gave up just 2 runs, and got a win. Younger brother Joe, who's 22. Be pretty impressive to be pitching in the big leagues and a starter in the big leagues. There's a shot. Peterson right back up the middle like a bullet. And Peterson on for the 2nd time. A walk and a single tonight.
They smoked that one up the middle, and Tyson Ross fortunate that that didn't hit him. I don't know how he got away out of that way of that one, because that was hit on a rope.
Well, Peterson continues to impress. Sophia has more on his story this year. Sophia.
Yeah, Rock, earlier in the game you described him as being a headsy player, and Craig Counsell agreed with that assessment, saying he had a really good series over the weekend and, getting a lot of time in center field with the Carlos Gomez trade. And he said, there were a lot of routine plays for him. There's going to be some challenging ones, but really likes the at-bats he's getting from Peterson.
Now it's turned into back-to-back hits. Peterson keeps the inning alive, and now Segura reaches 2 on with 2 out.
And the fact that you have those baseball instincts and you play the game the right way, you don't make mistakes. I mean, that's going to impress a guy like Craig Counsell even more than some other managers, because that's exactly the way Craig Counsell stuck around as long as he did in the big leagues. Not overwhelming tools, but played the game the right way and helped your team to win.
Bullpen activity for San Diego. A pitch count is high for Ross. Marcos Mateo, in case Ross cannot get through this 6th inning. Brewers have 6 hits. They're down 5. They could use a quick strike here with 2 away as Hernan Perez. That's in the dirt. Ball skips free. And over to third goes Peterson. To your point, good instincts. Sees the ball in the dirt. Peterson takes third base.
And Gene Segura normally has those good instincts as well, but you got to make sure that the guy at second takes off. You don't want to take off too early and then get caught in the rundown. So if you don't get a good jump, you don't recognize right away that runner at second's taking off all the way, you just stay put. Can't be making outs on the bases down by 5.
Perez back at third base tonight. He'll get plenty of playing time there, and has gotten a lot of playing time since the Brewers traded Ramirez. Hernan did not play yesterday. That one's into right center. That's going to fall, a base hit. Coming in to score is Peterson. 3 hits for the Brewers in a row with 2 outs. And another run on the board. That makes it 7-3 as Perez drives in his 7th as a Brewer.
Yeah, 3 singles into center field. That's a nice approach by Hernan Perez, just staying back. Well, he looks good at the plate. He looks confident, keeping that bat in the hitting zone a long time and able to single into center with 2 outs. 107 pitches for Ross. This might be the end of the line. This might be his last inning.
Marcos Mateo is ready.
Yeah, Ross had a game in April where he threw 115 pitches. Hasn't thrown over 100 pitches in 3 starts.
He's trying to get through 6, but the Brewers are keeping the inning alive. Counsell will send up a pinch hitter, Elian Herrera. Two on, 2 out. Herrera, the switch hitter. Got more power as a left-handed batter. He's at 4 for the Brewers this year. That one's a roller to second. And this is going to end the inning. So the Brewers are out, but they get a 2-out run on 3 straight hits. Hernan Perez drives in one. 7-3 San Diego.
morning. And hey, the Brewers post-game concert series continues on Saturday, August 15th, and the Goo Goo Dolls come to Miller Park to perform a free concert following the Brewers matchup with the Phillies. Reserve your spot today at brewers.com/concerts.
And as you were reading that, they are playing Goo Goo Dolls in the stadium.
How'd they know?
I don't know. It's
Isn't it
really
amazing?
It's great teamwork is what it is. Preston Guillemette is on the pitch for the Brewers. Just got him at the trade deadline, but he wasn't a trade. They claimed him off waivers from the Dodgers. The well-traveled Guillemette got in his first game as a Brewer against the Cubs on Saturday, and here's outing number 2.
Man, he's been all over the place, including 4th organization this year. And made his Brewers debut on Saturday against the Cubs and tossed a 3-up, 3-down 9th inning that included a strikeout. Preston Guillemette.
Corey Knebel was impressive tonight. 3-up, 3-down, 3 Ks to the top of the San Diego batting order. Here is Justin Upton. First ball swinging. Deep fly ball to right, but playable for Braun. Out number 1. Well, if you're Craig Counsell, knowing you don't have an off day until Monday, you're trying to get an inning apiece from your what you call your low leverage relievers, the guys that don't pitch when you have a late lead, and keep them sharp for perhaps tomorrow. And you're hoping to get yourself in a winning position. They're going to need one of these starters to go deep in a game here shortly. Tomorrow, Jimmy Nelson is up. He'll pitch against Andrew Kashner tomorrow. We're going to see some velocity tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Nelson tomorrow, Youngman on Wednesday, and then Thursday afternoon, Matt Garza.
Have you been keeping an eye on that Texas-Houston score tonight?
I have.
That is Mike Fiers' debut with the Astros.
Yeah, he came in out of the bullpen, I guess. 6 earned runs, 3 innings out of the pen. Yikes.
Adrian Beltre. Cycle. It's the 5th inning.
Gomez has a hit. Not a good start for Fiers, but it's got to be a little unusual, a little difficult to be in the rotation. Get traded, now have to come out of the bullpen. I wonder how the Astros are going to use Fiers. In his time in Milwaukee, he was way better as a starter than he was a reliever. Different setup. Texas has a 12-7 lead in that game as they now go to the 6th. That kid Correa hit another homer, Rock.
Yeah.
Their teenage phenom shortstop. 13 home runs in the big leagues now.
Amazing, isn't it? How young they are these days.
(3-2) fouled away by Alonso. And that'll be a walk to Alonso. So a base runner with 1 away. Well, tonight, be sure to catch Fox Sports Live on Fox Sports 1 for complete highlights and analysis of everything that happened in the big leagues tonight, plus the latest from NFL training camps and all the rest of the world of sports. Fox Sports Live is tonight on Fox Sports 1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. MLB every Saturday on Fox Sports 1 as well. Line drive right field. That's going to get down foul. Jerko making a bid at an extra base hit. By the way, I believe the Brewers are on Fox Sports 1 this Saturday against the Cardinals.
You doing it?
I am not.
Really? What happened?
Well, you know, it's been wanting to talk about your performance lately. No, I have a TBS game this weekend.
Oh, okay. I knew there had to be some explanation.
I'll be taking a long road trip to Chicago. I've got the Cubs and the Giants on TBS. Matt LePay will be here Sunday. I saw the.
You just going to stay in Chicago then, or?
No, I think I'll come back.
We were going to play the Cubs, you know.
Yep. I saw that.
Why come back?
Because I want to ride the train. Whenever I get a chance to take the Hiawatha line down to Chicago, I do it.
So how are you getting there on Saturday?
People. We got people for that, Rock. Jerko with another base hit.
That's a limo ride, isn't it?
His third hit.
Huh? Drinks, snacks? Is that what it is?
No.
I mean, why don't you take the train on Saturday? Just cancel the limo.
I mean, I like the train, but I don't like it that much.
Okay. I get it. I just want to understand.
Unless I could borrow your truck again, then I would take your truck.
Yeah, that is nice.
I like being king of the highway.
You left it in good shape. I will give you that.
There are a few scratches that.
Although, you know, you could have put some gas in it.
I can't afford that gas. Line drive to center. Hedges with a base hit. They're going to send a runner around third. Throw goes to third, and another San Diego run. They have scored in every inning but the sixth. And it's 8-3 now. Padres. Austin Hedges has 2 hits and a walk tonight.
And getting one of those off-speed pitches from Guillemette up and driving it into center field. And Alonso, who walked, comes around to score.
Here's Melvin Upton Jr. Who's been on twice tonight as well. 2 walks. Speaking of the Giants, though, I saw where they put Joe Panik on the DL.
Yeah.
Remember, he missed a couple of games against the Brewers and now on the disabled list. San Francisco jumped out to a 4-0 lead on the Braves tonight. Braves caught them. And they're tied in the 11th inning. Crawford, Belt, and Posey have all homered for the Giants. Chris Johnson, A.J. Pierzynski, and the former Padre, Jace Peterson, have all homered for the Atlanta Braves. Jace Peterson had a walk-off against the Brewers earlier this year. And he was a part of one of the 2 trades that the Padres made with the Braves. He was in the Justin Upton deal. Melvin Upton with a base hit to left. They're going to send the runner. Davis hits the cutoff man, but a run comes in. 2 are in. 9-3 San Diego. Hey, the bottom of the batting order for San Diego has killed the Brewers pitchers in this game.
I'm just getting ready to say the same thing. I mean, Hedges and Upton have been on just about every time up. Starting with Jerko and on down, including Tyson Ross, who singled and drove in a run in the second. These guys have been on base all night.
Well, Rick Kranitz out to visit with Guillemette. 3 straight hits, producing 2 runs. Last 4 hitters in the Padres lineup on base 10 times. 3 walks, 7 hits. And Pat Murphy will pinch hit for Tyson Ross. Brett Wallace will bat. He's been bouncing around quite a bit. Cardinals, Astros, Oakland. Been pretty good off the bench this year for the Padres. He's 5 for 19. Small sample size.
Astros thought he was going to be the answer at first base, a few years ago.
Yeah, the post-Berkman era.
Yeah. Tough duty replacing Lance Berkman.
One man out, first and second. An ugly one here tonight at Miller Park. 9 runs on 12 San Diego hits. Ross goes 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. He committed the error that led to a run. 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. And Wallace draws the walk. That'll load the bases. Last thing Counsell wants to do right now is make a pitching change. Nobody up in the bullpen.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make one. He's going to have to leave Gilmet out there, and he's probably hoping to use just one more. I don't think Gilmet's going to be able to eat up 3 innings.
Here's Amarista. First ball swinging. It's going to be deep enough to score a run. Peterson winds it up and fires it home late. Run is in. Amarista with his 3rd RBI of the night. And it's 10-3 San Diego. Sac fly. Last time the Padres scored 10 or more runs was way back in May 24th. They beat the Dodgers 11-3. Haven't been in double digits since until tonight. 10 runs on 12 hits. Easy to manage in games like this.
You would never know it looking at the face of the Brewers or the Padres manager. Got that stoic look on his face.
So here is Solarte. Set the tone for this game. Hit a home run in the first inning on Peralta. Two outs, first and second. Well, San Diego in a fight, trying to plow their way up into that second wild card spot. This is what it looks like currently. Cubs and Giants are tied for the spot, and they're both still in progress tonight for that second spot. Pirates are +4. Top 2 teams make it and play a 1-game tiebreaker wild card win or go home game. That's been a fun game the last few years. And that one's deep. Solarte will watch this one fly. They rocket out of here, a 3-run home run. Yikes. How about Yangervis Solarte? 2 homers, 4 runs batted in tonight. And the Padres putting a whooping on the Brewers tonight. He knew it. That was way back.
Yeah, fastball that stayed middle in, and you see where it ends up. That's a deep fly ball to right. That's about 4 rows from the top of the second deck out there in right field. Wow.
First time he's done it in his big league career. Kemp rolls to third. And this will end the inning. 6-run inning for San Diego. And they lead 13-3.
It's stretch time here at Miller Park, and the Brewers and Cardinals square off in the weekend series this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The first 10,000 fans 21 and older at Miller Park get a free Brewers Cup courtesy of Miller Lite. Call 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com for tickets.
Those are cool looking cups there, or whatever, glasses. The cup giveaway. It's the upside down bottle. Get it?
A couple of those filled to the top would look pretty good right now.
Don't mind if I do, Barkeep.
And I'm not sure what you would get, but I think I'd take care of both of them.
Yep. I got some defensive changes, Rock. Get your scorebook handy.
All right.
Will Venable is in right field. And Brett Wallace is now at third base. Also have a new pitcher, Leonel Campos. 13-3 San Diego. What can you tell us about Leonel Campos?
Yeah, he was called up from AAA El Paso on Saturday. His first stint with the Padres this season in 32 games, 2-0 and a 292 earned run average. Made his major league debut for the Padres last year. What more do you need to know?
El Paso's come a long way since your days at the Dudley Dome.
AA then.
Now AAA, brand new ballpark.
Yeah.
I hear it's beautiful.
That's a third ballpark in El Paso, right? I mean, I played in the original Dudley Dome.
I worked in the second one, Cohen Stadium. And now they have a new one, which I don't know the name of. But they say it's a beauty. The El Paso Chihuahuas.
Not the Diablos?
Not anymore. They have an angry Chihuahua as their mascot now. Those Chihuahuas are little, but they can get mean. They're a little ornery.
They are mean, but they don't look mean.
Southwest University Park is the name. Opened last year. Mike Faulkner he doesn't just provide stats for the game. He's providing intel on the El Paso Chihuahuas.
He doesn't give up, does he?
That's the team that Pat Murphy managed before they promoted him to the big leagues.
I like the Diablos better.
Well, there is a suggestion box down in the Padre clubhouse. Always liked El Paso. That was a fun place to go. Loud stadium. They used to pass the hat in El Paso. Hit a home run, you could pay your rent for a month. 2-2 to Jeanette. And he lines one left field, long run. Upton, and he makes the catch. Oh my goodness. Upton goes crashing into the wall, the iron retaining wall, and is not pleased about that. Man, that had to hurt. Wow, what a great effort by Justin Upton.
Yeah, he's playing shallow and toward the line and goes right into the railing. Goodness, that could have been a lot worse. It's a great catch, just not able to defend himself against that railing. I think he actually hit the padding and then bumped the railing out there. So just a tap, I guess. It's easy for me to say.
His hand went through the railing. And he's clutching at his right hand right now. That was scary.
Good effort.
They've really had Jeanette played well tonight. Jeanette's hit 2 down that line. Has nothing to show for it. Could easily have 2 hits in this game. Here's Luke Croy. Lucroy's 1 for 3, had a single and a run scored in the first. It's been ugly since. Padres coming off a 6-run seventh. And with a big lead, good opportunity for Pat Murphy to get Leonel Campos in the game. From the Chihuahuas to the Padres. That's a good upgrade.
Yeah. From Valera, Venezuela. He's 27 years old. Signed in 2010.
Now Lucroy grinding out an at-bat despite his club down 10 runs. I think Council's going to use this opportunity to get Braun out of the game. Logan Schaefer is on deck.
You might see Maldonado behind home plate. This might be Lucroy's last appearance tonight.
Has the feel of a spring training game. Doesn't mean anything for the Brewers, means a lot for the Padres, though. They got a lot of ground to make up. A lot of folks taking shots at the Padres across the country about their decision to not trade anyone. Stand pat and see if they can make a run. And if they do make a run and they make it into the postseason, this is going to be one of the great team Hail Mary moments for a general manager ever. A.J. Preller staring long odds in the face. I don't know if the Padres can pull it off. They'll have to have one of their best finishes to a season in their franchise history.
One of those finishes like the Rockies had that one year. What do we got here?
We got playoff probabilities. Baseball Prospectus comes out with a percentage to make it to the postseason. They have the Pirates and the Cubs as the two favorites to make it. And the Padres have a 1.9% chance greater than the Brewers, according to Baseball Prospectus. As Lucroy draws a walk.
Well, how are the Giants under 50% on there?
It's a very
based on record, is
scientific formula.
Record and all kinds of home road record, who they're playing,
upcoming schedule.
Okay,
it's just for water cooler discussion purposes.
So it's not official.
Well, Baseball Prospectus would tell you it's official.
Just for friendly banter in a 10-run game.
That's the second time we've used friendly banter tonight. This is a game for friendly banter. San Francisco, by the way, part of that picture, the formula.
Yeah.
I know you're a formula guy. But the Giants have one of the hardest schedules if you talk about teams over 500. Now, that's all well and good until you get to the month of September. And then I always felt like in the month of September when rosters expand, that over 500, under 500 doesn't play so well because you start facing teams, and the Brewers are going to be in this spot. You have no idea who some of these players are.
Right.
And all the call-ups and teams that are out of it are trying to find out about next year and bringing up guys, and it really affects your scouting reports. I'd like to see that rule change a little bit. Here's Logan Schaefer into right center. That's a base hit. All the way to the wall it goes. Lucroy on his way to third. He's going to be waved home. The throw comes in late. Lucroy's in. And Logan Schaefer has an RBI double. That's a way to get yourself into the game.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to Logan around the batting cage, and he said he's feeling about as good as he has in baseball when he came up down in the minor leagues and doubles into the gap to drive in a run on Marshfield Clinic's shining moment of the game. Logan Schaefer has not been able to find the starting lineup, but is now 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter since coming up.
Yeah, good work. You like seeing that. Maybe that'll start something for Logan Schaefer. So here's Adam Lind.
He hit a bullet yesterday. Remember, a tying run at second base. Hit a bullet into center field. Got caught. Would have tied the game.
Yep. Instead, it ended the game. Big couple of months for him as well. Adam Lind with 2 hits tonight and an RBI. Lynn's former club, the Toronto Blue Jays, are making a run this year. Got a win from David Price today in his first start as a Blue Jay. They beat the Twins 5-1. And Lynn swings and misses. Down he goes for the second out. First strikeout for Campos. And here's Chris Davis. Toronto has a shot to win their division still. They're just 5.5 back of the Yankees. Certainly in the wild card picture in the American League. There's a shot right to the shortstop, Amarista. And that will end the inning. Brewers get a run on a Logan Schaefer double. 13-4 San Diego. We go to the 8th. And not a good start from the jump. Home run by Solarte. Padres get 3 in the second. An RBI there by Tyson Ross. And another 2 more ribbies from Amarista in that second inning. And the beat keeps going on. Jed Jerko with 3 hits tonight. 2 runs batted in, including a long home run. Kemp had an RBI. There's Jerko's homer. And then a 6-run 7th inning. Capped off with a 3-run homer by Jan Hervis Solarte. You get the idea. It's been a tough night for the Brewers on the mound. And it is 13-4 San Diego. Brewers have RBIs tonight from Schaefer, Adam Lind, and Hernan Perez. Multiple changes for the Brewers. This is where we play follow the director, Mark Vittorio. Got a new third baseman. That would be Hector Gomez. Perez moves over to first base. And a new center fielder. Schaefer stays in. Shane Peterson slides over to right field.
And Lucroy stays in the game.
And the new pitcher is Neil Kotz. Yeah, Lucroy's still there.
And Kotz pitched in yesterday's ball game and threw up a 3-up, 3-down 7th inning against the Cubs. Unscored upon in 23 of his last 26 appearances. That is a 138 earned run average, 4 earned runs in 26 innings in those 26 games.
Clint Barmas pinch hitting for San Diego. Broken bat. And Jeanette bobbles. Throw to first is late. That'll be a base hit for Barmas. And a pinch hit single. Barmas was hitting for Justin Upton. Curious to see how he came out after that collision with the railing down there. You wonder if it's just for precaution or get him out of the lineup in a game like this.
A little bit of both. Get some ice on it.
They're going to score that as an error on Jeanette. That seems like a tough error.
I think if he catches it right away, he's going to be able to get the out. But he bobbled it, tried to be a little bit quick with the transfer, and give him an error.
So no single, E4. In the air to left. One away. Alonso is out. They're putting the tarp back on in Pittsburgh. It's one of those Pittsburgh nights.
Yeah.
We've been through a few of those. You know, it rains a lot in Pittsburgh. It rained more last year in Pittsburgh than it did Seattle. That's a true story. Feels like anytime you go to Pittsburgh, at least one day there's going to be some kind of rain delay.
Yeah.
It's too bad they had a huge crowd tonight to see the Cubs and the Pirates. They're trying to get it going, trying to get it in, but the tarp's back on. Jerko into left. And Davis with just enough room to make the catch. 2 outs. Pirates and Cubs are through 4 in a rain delay, tied at 1.
It's going to be a late night.
There's Austin Hedges. Padres don't count on him much for offense, but he has been on base 3 times tonight. 2 hits. He drove in a run with a single in the 7th. That 6-run 7th inning. Ground ball to Hector Gomez. He'll go the easy way to end the inning. So after the error, Kotz retires the next 3. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Brewers down 9.
Even though the team has only won 2 of their last 12 ball games, they hadn't given up more than 5 runs a game during that entire stretch. But tonight, Willie Peralta from the get-go just didn't have it, Davey.
Boy, he certainly didn't. It just looked like he didn't have any kind of command whatsoever. No kind of feel, was not in a good rhythm, and looked like nothing was working for him.
And unfortunately, tonight that kind of set the tone. Still a couple of innings yet to go here. We'll see what the Brewer batters can do to finish up strong here. We got Brewers Live postgame coming up. We'll hear from manager Craig Counsell after the ball game, B.A.
All right, Craig and Davey, whom we affectionately call Cravey. And Brewers Live coming up. Clint Barmas will stay into place short. That bumps Amarista out to left field. New pitcher is Dale Thayer. Deals a strike to Peterson.
Yeah, Thayer's struggled as of late. 35th appearance and a .454 earned run average. He's given up 5 home runs so far this year. Has allowed multiple runs in an inning in 4 of his last 7 appearances. So he is in a rough stretch right now.
He used to boast one of the best Yosemite Sam mustaches in the big leagues, but he's gone with the full beard now. Facial hair is his strength, though. It's a good asset.
It's intimidating. It's intimidating. I mean, if it's a big mustache like he used to have.
Had that big rolling thunder mustache, you know.
Right.
A little bit of the Fu Manchu working.
Long hair, mustache, yeah.
Look out. Did it hit him? Inside, ball 4 regardless. So Peterson is on again, his 3rd trip on base. A reminder that Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Boys and Girls Clubs help young people to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens through programs that promote character and leadership, education, healthy lifestyles, and more. And for more information, visit foxsportsupports.com. Segura with a man on in the 8th. Snapped an 0 for 20 at the plate with a single his last time up. Wave and a miss. 1 and 2 on Segura. Now the New York Mets were back in action tonight. They started a road trip to Miami. Bouncing ball. Should be 2, 4, 6, 3. It goes. And a double play. 2 outs, nobody on. So the Mets are hot. And they won today 12-1. Beat the Marlins 12-1. Yoenis Cespedes, the new Met, tied a club record with 3 doubles, 4 RBIs. Their rookie Michael Conforto hit his first big league home run. This kid's a player, rock. Conforto. Oregon State. He was in the draft last year. Left-handed hitter.
Bartolo Colon won his 10th.
Been stuck on 9 for a while.
Yeah. 8 innings, 1 run tonight.
Marlins beat the Padres yesterday. Had a walk-off. Adeiny Echeverria walked off San Diego, but the Padres did win that series. And barring a miraculous comeback, they're going to win the opener of this series. Mets are one of the teams the Padres are trying to jump in that wild card race. Mets have as good of a chance to win the division too. The Diamondbacks beat the Nationals tonight. So the Mets are in first place by themselves in the National League East. 1 game up. Two to Perez, and a strike sums up the night. Brewers ready for the finish line here. 13-4 San Diego. We go to the 9th. Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. Monday Night Lights of Miller Park. 13-4 San Diego. Been all Padres since the first inning. Had a 3-run second. They scored 6 runs in the 7th. And Will Smith is on to try to finish this one out. Maybe a chance to work on a few things. Smith has struggled his last few times on the mound, and could use a game like this to try to get some confidence back.
Yeah, he's last 2 times out, he's been giving up some runs. Gave up a 3-run home run to Anthony Rizzo on Thursday night. 2/3 of an inning, 1 run was his. He came in with a couple of men on. Overall, good numbers for Will. And unusual to see Will Smith in a game like this, down by 9.
Melvin Upton Jr. will lead off. 2 walks and a single for Upton tonight. 2 runs scored. Here's some good news, Rock. Would you like some good news?
I would.
So one of the players the Brewers got in the Mike Fiers Carlos Gomez deal, Domingo Santana, 2 for 5 with a double and 2 RBIs for Colorado Springs last night. Upton flies to Schaefer for the first out.
I mean, he's got some big league time, so we might be seeing him at some point.
Also, Brett Phillips, the Astros number 2 rated prospect that is now a Brewer, had 2 hits last night for Biloxi. He was 2 for 3.
How does he rank in the Brewers prospects?
I think he's probably number 2 as well, right behind Arcia, I would imagine. On the BA rankings, the Brian Anderson rankings.
According to the same group that put up the percentages of teams getting to the postseason.
No. Don't get all grumpy and
no. I'm
get off my lawn.
I'm just trying. I've never really saw that before. I mean, that's something new for me. I never really. I didn't know they put up percentages like that.
Hey, you harumphed all over that. It doesn't really mean anything.
Was it that obvious?
But it's a 9-run game, and we figured we'd want to stir it up a little bit.
No, I tried to sound interested.
Actually, you didn't really. I don't think you accomplished that goal. But it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. Now we saw that percentage thing with the Mets. It was like 49%. Does it change now that they're in first place?
I don't know. I think not.
Maybe a percent or two.
I think they still don't believe they have better than 50-50 chance to make it. That means they could make it. Not that that would ever come up in any meaningful scenario. There's a strikeout. Will Smith punches out Wallace for the second out of the inning.
Just some friendly banter, right?
It's the fourth time you use that
I'm
phrase.
just saying. I mean, yeah. I mean, I get it.
You know who offers fun, friendly banter? Mark Grant, the Padres TV analyst.
Padre?
He is the Friar. Is it Friar Joe or what's their mascot? Because he does bear a striking resemblance to the Friar. There he is. That's the shiniest head in the big leagues right there. Mark Grant.
The greatest.
He asks and prepares for a lot of information. He knows he's on TV now. He's going through all of his pitches. He asks for a lot of information, but he never retains any of it. I had a 30-minute conversation with him today about the Brewers. He comes in and asks the same questions to you that I had just told him. And he brought a pen the next time. I had to write it down in crayon. Inning is over. Smith, that's a good inning for him. 3 up, 3 down. The head still shines. No matter the score, they're having a blast. A lot of Boy Scouts in the ballpark tonight, by the way. Miller Lite, what's on tap? You got Andrew Kastner and his power fastball on the mound against Jimmy Nelson and his power sinker. Nelson's on a great roll right now. 6:30 airtime. Brewers live. Craig and Davey, and then we're underway with the first pitch just after 7. Yeah, there they go. Cub Scouts, Pack 324. They're here, among others.
Were you a Cub Scout?
I never was.
I was.
Were you?
Cub Scout, Boy Scout. Yep.
Still tie a good knot, do you?
I do. Marine knots. Nautical. Marcos Mateo, his 14th appearance, and you see his numbers: 19 strikeouts and a little over 15 innings of work. An opponent batting average of .218.
He gets the 9th inning cleanup duty here tonight. Marcos Mateo. Hector Gomez will lead off. First at bat for Hector came into the game last inning at third base. The only Gomez on the Brewers right now. Hector. Mateo's got a little Johnny Cueto in him, at least in his delivery style. Spins away from the hitter.
Yeah, very similar in body type. Mateo a little bit taller.
A former Cub, Mateo, a couple of years with Chicago. He's 31 years of age. He's in the big leagues, and he's actually pitching well. This guy's been in a few towns and cities in his baseball career. I'm not sure I can count them all up before the inning ends. Started in El Paso this year. He's pitched in the Dominican Winter League, Southern League, PCL, Arizona League.
Got the hat off to the side.
When does it become a uniform violation? How tilted can the hat be before you get a phone call from Major League Baseball?
I don't know. Can you actually wear the hat like a catcher's?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
I think it's got to be between the ears.
Are you sure?
I do. I think you have to. Yeah, you can't like go Max Patkin and turn it sideways.
No.
Or wear it backwards. Only a catcher can do that. Little ground ball to first. Are you going to the rule book on that?
I'm gonna, take a look. I might not be able to find it when we get off the air, but we're gonna talk about it.
The big money moment?
No, well, I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I might have to bring my rule book home, but we will mention it on the pregame show tomorrow.
Yes, we will. You have to come back for that. Uniform code. How's your big money moment looking tonight, by the way?
I think we're going to talk about Willie.
Tough night for Willie.
Yeah.
3 1/3, 6 earned runs.
Some of the talk about some of the growing pains of being a young pitcher in the big leagues, particularly for a guy like Willie that he hadn't pitched all that long. I mean, amateur ranks didn't do a lot of pitching.
Coming back from the DL, first time he's ever been on the disabled list.
Sometimes it can be a bit of a rocky road your first few years.
But knowing Willie Peralta, he'll just tell you he just had a bad night. No excuses. Jeanette into right center. That ball's hit well. Way back there. Scooter Jeanette with a home run. Giving him something to cheer about on the way out. Scooter Jeanette. Number 5 on the year. He's been robbed of a couple of hits tonight already and finally gets one where they don't play.
Yeah, not a bad pitch. That's one of those down and in pitches that Scooter at times has a difficult time with, and able to golf that one out of here out into right center. And the Brewers now with 5 runs tonight.
And on a night they score 5, they give up 13. Lucroy's 5th plate appearance. He's 1 for 3. Had a walk. He scored twice. Scored from first last time on base on that double by Schaefer. And Lucroy strikes out. 2nd out of the inning. How's the search coming?
I'm seeing everything but hats. And they got all kinds of stuff on helmets, gloves, uniforms, but nothing on hats. I'll dig into it. Don't worry.
Anything interesting come up in your search so far?
I knew it all.
That makes 2 on this production crew. Tonight's game produced by Brad Weimer.
He knows everything too.
He does. He knows everything. And if he doesn't, he's a master at the Google search. Directed by Mark Vittorio.
How about him?
He's an impressionist. He does many, many impressions, including a spot-on Bill Schroeder.
Yeah, every day.
Throws a lot of pals in there.
Just kidding.
Schaefer, center field. And this game comes to a merciful end. 13-5. Pat Murphy's Padres coming here, beat the Brewers. First game of this 4-game series. Wipe the slate clean. Started up tomorrow again. The Brewers have dropped 6 straight. They got Jimmy Nelson on the mound tomorrow. 13-5 the final. Ross beats Peralta. And Craig Cashon is standing by, ready for Brewers Live. Go ahead, Craig.
Oh, yes, we are ready to rock and roll out here in the right field corner. We're going to hear from Craig Counsell, as always, and discuss Willie Peralta's night. Tough one for him on the mound. Coming right back as the Padres top the Brewers.